I don't want a boat, I don't want a fancy car, I don't want jewelry or art. But I don't judge other people. If you can afford it, do whatever the hell you want. Give it all away to charity, buy a $5 million painting. If you can afford, especially if you made it, if you made the money and you can afford it, you're my favorite person. Because then you can do whatever the hell you want with your money. I think, and by the way, if you inherit it, you inherited it. You know, so you were in a fortunate situation. Obviously, I don't look at that the same way because I admire people who make it. But no, I do not. I'm unbelievably unimpressed with somebody who flaunts their money with things. I don't judge it, but it doesn't get me excited at all. I've never looked at anything and been impressed by it for its cost. I don't even know what things cost. Yeah. I don't, when I go to if I'm in, I think a lot about when I'm in Cannes for the marketing festival, or if I'm in Beverly Hills for an event, or I remember I was somewhere, it was like very fancy cars. I don't know what's a $500,000 car, what's a $5 car, it just, jewelry, forget about it, I have no idea, art, no clue. It's just not on my radar. No, I don't think about that at all. I think you try to find the cross section of what you like and where the market's going. That's the best. That's the best. Some people are lucky like me, where actually building businesses and running a business is what they like. So it's almost agnostic, whether it's wine or marketing. It almost doesn't matter, which is a great luxury. But I think it comes down to happiness, right? So for example, when I hear you ask that question, the next question I would ask you is, what's your ambition? Financially, happy-wise, for how long? I think a lot of people should build around their interests and their hobbies, businesses, because I think it's a better life to be happy and make $200,000 a year, or $55,000 or $5,000 and be happy, than to make $1 million and be miserable. I really believe that. It's not sustainable. Unhappiness is not sustainable. I think, but there's a lot of ways to do it. I'll give you an example. If you love football, right? Okay, so that's your passion, right? Now when you think about a business, when you go back to the market, do you build 433 and a huge Instagram page? Do you build a direct-to-consumer soccer ball business? Do you buy football jerseys and resell them on Facebook Marketplace? You see where I'm going? So I feel like there's a way to do both. And my opinion is, if you love football, then you're gonna be willing to be up at 11 o'clock at night DMing and trying to sell football jerseys. Whereas if you're trying to do cryptocurrency because you think there's money there, you're not interested, you're there for the money. I was very fortunate. I was a failure my whole life. When you're a bad student, you're used to failure. I was a bad student. I loved sports. I played a lot of sports, but I wasn't great at sports. So I was dealing with adversity and failure. When you're an immigrant, when you don't come from much, when you're little, I was a little guy, when you're bad at school, there was nothing that was, and then I was a businessman, so when I would knock on doors and ask to wash somebody's car, 90 out of 95 people said no. When I stood there at a lemonade stand, 100 cars would drive by for every one that would stop. So I was used to failure. Failure was my foundation, which is why I succeeded.
Which is why you were not afraid to, lose your...
Most people are, follow rules, go to school, do the right thing, and create a scenario where failure is scary. The biggest key is, my friends, is one, not worrying about other people's opinions, because if you worry about other people's opinions, you're gonna quit. Number two, the biggest mistake millennials, not only in Indonesia, but in the world make, is they're just not patient. It takes 10 years, 15 years to build something meaningful for 99% of people. Everybody, because you live in a world where you have instant gratification, people got confused and think, for the same way that they can watch any show they want, or pull up anything they want on the phone, or Google search something, that they can build $1 million business that fast too. So patience and really focusing on your internal skills. And then most of all, just understanding that the level of hard work that it takes to actually build something meaningful is enormous. It's just hard. It's hard. It's hard, and it's gonna take a very long time. Do you still wanna do it?